The biggest news of the season broke yesterday. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp announced that this will be his last season at the club and he will be leaving in the summer. Undoubtedly a legend in English football, taking Liverpool to the top of the world and winning everything with them. It's obviously going to be hard to replace him, but with the new manager potentially coming into a Premier League winning side, it is vital that Liverpool secure the right manager for the future of the club. With that being said, I want to propose my number one candidate for the new Liverpool job being De Zerbi. Let's have a look why. Now, Roberto De Zerbi has sort of taken the football coaching system by storm in the last few years. A manager well respected for his times at teams like Sassuolo and Shakhtar Donetsk, especially between tacticos and football hipsters, which has gained mainstream recognition when he got signed by Brighton following Graham Potter's move to Chelsea. And since taking over Brighton, he has been phenomenal, getting Brighton up to a record high 6th last season, so they played in the Europa League this year, and he's created a philosophy around that club that makes them even better than when Graham Potter was there. And in just 68 games, he has probably created a big legacy in Brighton's history. First of all, I've got to look at philosophy. I think Roberto De Zerbi could be perfect for Liverpool with their new philosophy and how he has worked in the Premier League. Although Brighton were a very good team, they weren't as good as they were now when he's come in. He got to pick and choose what players he wanted to sign for Brighton, even if some of them were a bit of rogue shouts, and he got some cheap options in there such as Milner and De Hood. This trust and control, I reckon if FSG could give this to him, it could be at such a different level, because Liverpool obviously have bigger spending power than Brighton. He can also still find little gems around the place, and it's not necessarily all about spending so much money to do well. I also think if the Liverpool board do give him time, he can slowly mould the team into something that he likes while still keeping a lot of the players around because they are very good. And with De Zerbi, it's always long-term project in plan. He will buy players that people think are washed and use them for years in a great system. He is very good at getting the best out of a lot of players, and even people like Danny Welbeck, who you would say is not that good, has been brilliant under De Zerbi. And he's also had a knack for developing players such as Evan Ferguson, such as Matoma, and people like Casado were really good under him. Not only that, he is experienced in the Premier League. He's now managed in the Premier League for around 18 months, and in that whole time he's improved the team heavily, becoming one of the best teams in the league tactically, despite obviously not having the best players every week out there. And people like Pep Guardiola have said that he could be the homage to him and could be the next Pep Guardiola, and his tactics are phenomenal. They are revolutionary and they are different to a lot of other managers. For example, De Zerbi is a very confident person, and the best thing about his tactics is the build-up play that Brighton do. What they do is they pass it around the back trying to bait the other team in, and then they often go backwards to lift the ball over the midfield and attack of the other team, with the wingers coming in short or the midfield to try and get the ball. This has been very effective against teams that are necessarily better than Brighton because they think they can get at him, and you have to be 100% the whole time to be able to get the team to actually be blocked in, because Brighton have great long passes from defence and brilliant movement from their front line. No one really has a set position and no one really stays there waiting for the ball. Anyone will come deep and get the ball at any time, and this is very key. Personally, I think this could work even better with Liverpool. They've got brilliant passers back there. Someone like Van Dijk or Konate could be brilliant at passing the ball long, and they can get their Diaz and Nunez or whoever plays on the wing, Jota or Salah, to come deeper to try and get the ball. He even could use Salah as that number 9 sort of striker to be in the middle and sort of be the furthest up the pitch, with having people like Nunez and Jota come back if they're playing up front, which could definitely help. And it creates space in their build-up, and with the intensity that Liverpool have developed, this could be very important. And when you have someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold, where you can get space anywhere on the pitch, he can do a cross-field ball to get you up there, being the best technical player in the team. And this is something that Brighton just simply don't have, and with someone like that, I think his tactics get even better. De Zerbi also commands a lot of intensity from his team. He likes high pressing and likes his team intensity getting the ball back, and this could be very important because this is something that Liverpool have been doing for years under Klopp, and it's a bit of a transition where it's not too different to what they're doing. And I think in the long term, or even in the short term, that's the most important thing, getting people familiar with his game and getting a team that can do the same thing. And honestly, watching De Zerbi's tactics, I think they would work perfect under Liverpool. He usually likes Dunk going on that left side, passing the ball out to even the left back or the striker coming deep, creating a triangle between the left winger, the striker and the left back. Now imagine this with Diaz, Nunez and someone like Robertson when he comes back. I think this would work perfectly. They can all play that role really well. Nunez has shown that he can come deep and collect the ball, and if he can't, maybe put Jota there, who's very good at running the ball from deep. I think if he can continue that intensity that Klopp had, it will only make his tactics better. And obviously there's going to be injury monetary concerns and long-term plans problems, but I'm sure he will buy the players in the long term to actually make sure that's sorted. And he has proven that he doesn't actually need loads and loads of money to actually make the team better. I know Brighton is a different ball game and obviously there's a bit different team, but he has bought players for cheap or on frees and they've still contributed a lot because his system is so good. This shows the quality of the manager he is. And Liverpool could get some of their big targets by also having a manager that saves a bit and buys a bit of the underdog to actually try and make the team better. I don't know how many other managers in Europe right now would do that. And De Zerbi is also an innovator. He changes his tactics. He does different things depending on who he's playing and who he has in his team. And I do think his prime principles that he abides to would be brilliant in this Liverpool side. And probably be the closest manager to Pep Guardiola is something that could be really important for them to get in because he's still young for a manager. He still has time to develop as well. And Liverpool have proven that they gave time to Klopp. They've given time to managers before. I believe that they would give the opportunity for De Zerbi to basically be on that Pep level. And I do think when Pep Guardiola leaves Man City, they will really be looking at De Zerbi unless Liverpool can get in there now. And I think it's a great chance to. The only other candidate that I would slightly consider for this job is obviously Xabi Alonso, who's probably the favourite in the press and the fans' eyes because he's a former Liverpool player and a legend of the club. Now, there's no doubt about it. He has been managing the best team in Europe this year. He has created Leverkusen to be brilliant and they're probably on for the cup and league double for a team that never wins anything called Leverkusen. And he plays brilliant attack and football and has got a lot of output from his attack and players, and often his defence sometimes lets him down, but he's created stability with that. Now, this is where he could be a bit better than De Zerbi in this aspect because De Zerbi obviously struggles defending. Have you seen Brighton have only kept 2 clean sheets this year in 0-0 draws? And they concede a lot of goals because they play this intensive attack and high football. However, I do think with Liverpool's better defence, that won't be as much of an issue. And there's a lot more mobility there than Brighton have in their defence as it is. But it's definitely something he still needs to work on. But honestly, I don't think in the long term that's too much of a problem. Now, I don't think Xabi Alonso coming to Liverpool would be a bad decision. He has been brilliant this season and he's clearly got a lot of managing expertise. He's come from a good background and we all know how good he was as a player. He also has a lot of good principles, which I did a video about if you want to watch that. But it's taken time for that to work in that team and he often plays a 3 or 5 back and I'm not sure that's the direction Liverpool really want to go for the future. He's also not overly experienced as a manager. He managed Real Sociedad's B team and then got this Leverkusen job and has done really well. So I'm not sure that's necessarily the problem. But then people like Mikel Arteta have done brilliant at Arsenal and he didn't have any actual experience either. And obviously Xabi Alonso comes from the same bread as him. And I do think Xabi Alonso would improve people like Szoboszlai to a really high level and probably the best midfielders in the world if he got their hands on him. And Nunez would probably get great output as well. But I also think De Zerbi can also do that as well. So both are definitely good shouts. But I thought most people would probably talk about Xavi, so I want to talk about De Zerbi in this video. But nevertheless, no one's going to be a perfect inclusion for the team. And this will create shockwaves around the league as one of the best managers of all time in the Premier League has left and a legacy of Liverpool will be left behind to see what the future holds. And while we don't know what the decision is going to be right now, I want to say congratulations to Jurgen Klopp on a brilliant Premier League career and a brilliant human being. I'm really happy he's done this well and let's see what the future holds for him, probably Germany manager in 2026. If you like this video, please go and watch one of my other videos where I talk about Yotta's tactical analysis in the Liverpool team. And if you like any of my Liverpool content, please like and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.